You learned to say you were not hungry while your stomach tightened at the table. You learned to wear the uncomfortable shoes because asking for another pair changed the temperature in the room. You learned to whisper, "It's okay," before anyone had even decided whether your pain mattered. You became skilled at removing your needs before someone else could reject them. So when did needing something begin to feel like asking for too much? You did not stop having needs. You stopped presenting them. You watched faces before you spoke. You measured footsteps. You noticed the sigh before the words arrived. You learned which requests created irritation. You learned which emotions caused distance. You learned how quickly tenderness could disappear when your need arrived at the wrong moment. Your nervous system memorized the smallest signals. A tightened jaw. A cupboard closed too hard. A silence that lasted 1 second longer than usual. Your body understood the rule before your mind could name it. Comfort was available only when comfort was convenient. So you became convenient. You waited until thirst became a headache. You waited until confusion became shame. You waited until loneliness became something you could carry without making a sound. You were praised for being mature. You were admired for being easy. You were noticed most when you required nothing. You began editing yourself in real time. You softened disappointment before it reached your face. You swallowed questions that sounded too complicated. You accepted what was offered, even when it did not fit faithfully. You said, anything is fine, because preference felt dangerous. You said, don't worry about me, because concern felt borrowed and temporary. You said, you choose, because wanting the wrong thing exposed you. Every small surrender protected a connection you could not afford to lose. That protection followed you forward. You entered rooms already prepared to adapt. You became sensitive to inconvenience before anyone accused you of causing it. You offered exits before closeness could become demanding. You apologized for messages, for pauses, for needing clarification, for arriving with a feeling that could not be resolved quickly. Your need did not have to be rejected anymore. You rejected it first. The cost appeared in quiet places. You felt guilty when someone adjusted a plan for you. You felt exposed when someone remembered what you liked. You felt suspicious when care arrived without visible resentment. You could manage disappointment more easily than generosity. Disappointment was familiar. Generosity created uncertainty. A gift could make your chest tighten. A kind question could leave your mind blank. A patient presence could feel more dangerous than distance, because patience gave your buried need enough time to surface. And once the need surfaced, grief followed. Grief for every night you stayed quiet. Grief for every ache you renamed as nothing. Grief for the younger you who became emotionally weightless so love would not have to carry you. You were never broken. You adapted. You built a smaller version of yourself because smallness protected proximity. You confused invisibility with safety because visibility had once carried a cost. Your minimization became difficult to see because it looked like competence. You anticipated problems, You carried your own weight. You needed little reassurance. You recovered privately. You became the person who could be relied upon without requiring much in return. Yet beneath that competence, your body kept asking questions your voice had abandoned. Is there room for you when you are tired? Is there room for you when your answer is inconvenient? Is there room for you when your feeling lasts longer than expected? Is there room for you when you cannot make yourself simple? Your body noticed every moment that seemed to answer no. Your throat tightened around ordinary requests. Your chest braced before honest conversations. Your attention moved toward every expression except your own. Even relief could feel unsafe because relief lowered the guard that had protected you for years. The adaptation kept working long after the original room disappeared.
Something shifts when the old pattern becomes visible. Not dramatic, not clean, only visible. You notice the pause before you say you do not mind. You notice the instant apology attached to a preference. You notice how quickly you convert hurt into understanding for everyone except yourself. The younger part of you still expects a consequence, so your body waits. It watches. It tests the silence after your truth. Sometimes nothing collapses. Sometimes a room remains steady. Sometimes care does not disappear when your need becomes visible. The discovery can feel almost unbearably tender, not because the need is new, because the need is old, because it has waited beneath your competence, beneath your politeness, beneath every version of "I'm fine" that kept connection intact. Your need was never the problem. Your need became associated with danger. Your smallness was never your nature. Your smallness was a language your nervous system created to preserve closeness. You were never broken. You adapted. And somewhere beneath all that careful shrinking, you remained exactly the size of a life that was never supposed to apologize for existing.